One of the topics that always seemed to make parents uncomfortable when I was a sex ed teacher was condoms. In many of the sex ed curriculums that I would teach, there would be a condom demonstration where I would demonstrate to the students how to use a condom correctly in order to build up their self-efficacy, their belief that they can prevent an unintended pregnancy or an STI or STD. I would have these parent evenings where the parents of the students I would be teaching would get to come and they would learn about the curriculum that I would be teaching in the sex ed class and also ask me questions. If you're new here, I'm Kathleen and I make YouTube videos for parents on how to talk about sex and answer sex questions that their child may have. I would start off by explaining the intentions of the curriculum, the importance of goal setting and aiming to reach your goals, and then I would go into explaining what STIs are, including HIV, how a pregnancy occurs, and how an unintended pregnancy and an STI could impact reaching your goals. Then I would cover pregnancy prevention and STI prevention, and this would include condom use skills. And right here is where parents would usually turn on me as a sex ed teacher. The main comment would be, I think the sex ed curriculum's really good. It teaches kids that there's a lot of consequences when it comes to engaging in sex, but I don't see why you need to teach them how to use a condom. There's no need for that. That's just promoting condom use and telling them that they can have sex all the time because now they know how to use one and will just do that. I don't believe that teaching kids how to use a condom will encourage them to have sex any sooner, and neither does the research. One study found that individuals who were taught how to use a condom in high school were more likely to get tested for STIs and less likely to get diagnosed with an STI. Another study found that youth who receive sex education, including condom use skills, were more likely to use condoms the first time they engaged in sexual intercourse and were more likely to use them consistently. A different study showed that there was greater knowledge of condom use and more favorable attitudes towards condom use amongst teens who had received parent-child communication around dating and sex. As a parent, take comfort in knowing that the research supports you in having a conversation about condom use with your middle and high school age child, and that it does not show to encourage sexual activity any sooner than not having a conversation about it. Parents, if you think this conversation is going to be awkward-free, it may, but most likely it probably won't. So just accept that it's going to be a little awkward, but it's worth it because you want your child to be able to protect their sexual health. Whether they have sex at 16 years old or 26 years old, you want them to have this information so that they can protect their health. This conversation is aimed for the middle and high school age groups. And parents, if you've already had conversations about consent, the consequences of sex, setting and maintaining boundaries, why people have sex for pleasure, as well as your family values around sex, then it may make it easier to start this conversation about condoms. You can do the cold open where you tell your child, I want to talk to you about condom use, and start the conversation there. Or you can wait for a teachable moment where you're walking past a condom machine dispenser and start talking about it. Or something happens on a TV show or in a movie about condoms, or you hear a song that's talking about condoms, and you can start it off like that. However you want to initiate this conversation is fine, but here are the basics that you want to cover. 1, sex can have consequences. 2, there are ways to reduce those consequences. And 3, your family values around sex. You can say something to the effect of, remember when we talked about sexually transmitted infections and diseases as well as avoiding pregnancy until you are physically, emotionally, and spiritually ready? Well, using a condom correctly and every time a person engages in sex, whether it's vaginal, anal, or oral, can be a highly effective way at preventing those consequences. So let's learn how to use a condom correctly. With a sexual partner, you're going to want to communicate about condoms, STI prevention, possibly pregnancy prevention, prior to engaging in sexual activity. Therefore, there is clarity and consent around the decision to have sex using condoms. Condoms have an expiration date. You're going to want to check that as well as the packaging and store condoms in a cool, dry place, not a purse or pocket or bathroom for an extended period of time. Once you've checked the expiration date, you're going to want to open the package. You can move the condom to the side, open that up, and then you're going to want to take the condom out. Here is when you're going to look at the condom and make sure that it's going to roll on the right way. And you can see here that it will roll on correctly. And here's where your child can help you. I've got a plantain. If you got a cucumber or a banana or whatever, they can hold it and you can show them how to roll the condom on correctly. So you squeeze the tip of the condom, you roll it down, goes over the erect penis. All right, and once it's all the way to the base, now sex can occur. Here is where you can add additional lubrication that is designed to be used with the condom. Thank you. After sex has occurred, you're going to want to hold on to the base of the condom as well as the penis in order to remove it so that the contents that are now in the condom doesn't spill or leak. So then you simply remove it. And then where are you going to throw this? In the trash can, not the toilet. That will clog it up. Definitely the trash can. And if sex is going to happen again, you're going to want to use a brand new condom. I would like for you to give it a try so that you can build up your self-efficacy and belief that you can use a condom correctly. Here you go. As your parent, I've taught you many things throughout your life, like how to read, how to use a knife and fork, how to ride a bike, and now I have just taught you how to use a condom correctly. These are all life skills. And right here, you just flow right into your family values. You can say something like, in our family, we believe it's important to use a condom every time a person engages in sex until the goal is to make a baby, or until they are in a committed relationship, or until they are married and have decided that they want to have children, or until whatever your family values are around when it is acceptable to have unprotected sex. And if you've made it all the way to this point with your teen, you can just keep the conversation going and roll right into a talk about stealthing. And if you aren't sure what that is, I've got a video on that. But there's nothing wrong with just stopping the conversation here and letting your teen walk away from this conversation with the self-efficacy that they now know how to use a condom correctly. If you found this video helpful, go on and give it a like. I'm Kathleen. I'll be back next Tuesday with another video, and it's time for the Sex Talk for Parents.